Divide and round to the nearest hundredth. 60.8 divided by 0.9. Again, before we start the division, we have to make sure the divisor, 0.9, is a whole number. And we do this by moving the decimal point one place to the right, which means we have to also move the decimal point in the dividend one place to the right, which gives us 608 divided by 9. Now we can start the division. And we ask ourselves, how many times does 9 go into 60 at most? And the answer is 6. Since 6 times 9 is equal to 54. And we subtract, which leaves us with 6. And we bring down the 8 and ask ourselves, how many times does 9 go into 68 at most? And the answer is 7. Since 7 times 9 is equal to 63. Completing the subtraction leaves us with 5. So we add a 0 and bring it down. And we ask ourselves, how many times does 9 go into 50 at most? And the answer is 5. Now before we continue, because we added this 0 after the decimal point here in the whole number, which we normally don't write, we have to put a decimal point in the quotient. And since 5 times 9 gives us 45, we subtract. And the answer again is 5. And then we add another 0 and bring it down. And we ask ourselves again, how many times does 9 go into 50 at most? And the answer is 5. Since 5 times 9 is equal to 45. And we can do it once again. Completing the subtraction leaves us with 5. Adding another 0 and then bringing it down leaves us with 50. And we ask ourselves, how many times does 9 go into 50 at most? And the answer is, again, 5. Since 5 times 9 gives us 45. And we see that there's going to be a pattern here. In fact, we'll get an infinite amount of 5s if we continue. So we stop here. And so we have our quotient, 67.555. But we want to know what this quotient is to the nearest hundredth. And the hundredth space, we have a 5. And the space afterwards, the value is 5, which means we add 1 to the hundredths place, which gives us 67.56. Therefore, 60.8 divided by 0.9 is equal to 67.56 when rounded to the nearest hundredth.